Before we begin, understand this. This story is not a rumor, it's not a creepypasta, and it's not something that happened hundreds of years ago. This case was investigated by police, journalists, scientists, and paranormal researchers. There are audio recordings, photos, eyewitness statements, and yet, to this day, no one can fully explain what happened inside of one ordinary house in North London. This is the true story of the Enfield poltergeist. The house on Green Street. The year was 1977. The place was 284 Green Street, Enfield, North London. It was a small, semi-detached council house. Nothing about it looked unusual. No dark history, no unknown murders, and no rumor of ghosts. Living there was Peggy Hodson, a single mother, and her 4 children, Margaret, Johnny, Billy, and Jeanette, who was just 11 years old. One night on August 30, Peggy heard something strange, a loud knocking. It came from the children's bedroom. At first, she assumed it was her sons messing around, but when she entered, the boys were crying. They said the chest drawers were moving. Peggy laughed it off until she saw it herself. The heavy wooden drawers slid across the floor on their own. No strings, no hands, no explanation. Later that night, the knocking returned. This time, it came from the walls. 3 sharp knocks. Peggy called out, "Is anyone there?" 1 knock came back. She asked, "Is this a joke?" 2 knocks. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Whatever was inside the house was responding. Terrified, Peggy ran to her neighbors, the Nottingham family. When they returned together, they all witnessed furniture sliding across the floor. That's when they called the police. A female police officer arrived shortly after midnight. He searched the house. Nothing was out of place. Just as she was about to leave, a chair lifted off the ground and slid across the room. The officer later filed an official written report, stating she had seen it happen. No wires, no tricks, no explanations. This wasn't a hallucination. This was on record. Soon, the activity became more violent. Objects were thrown, Lego bricks rained from nowhere, marbles bounced across the floor even when no one else was present. But then, something changed. The phenomenon began to focus on one child, Janet Hodgson. Janet started waking up screaming. She said someone was pulling her, dragging her out of bed. She claimed she couldn't control her body. Then came the voices. One night, Janet sat up in bed. Her eyes rolled back and she spoke. But it wasn't her voice. It was deep, raspy, male. The voice said, investigators recorded it on tape. You can still hear it today. The voice claimed to be Bill Wilkins. He said he died in the house. He said he hated the family and he wasn't leaving.
Days before I died, I went blind. Then I had an hemorrhage and I fell asleep and I died in a chair in the corner downstairs.
Bill, if you're there, would you answer me the following question?
Later, records confirmed something. A man named William Wilkins had lived there, and he had died in that very house. News spread quickly. Journalists arrived. Photographs captured images of Jeanette appearing to float in midair. These photos were published in major newspapers. Some people claimed they showed levitation. Others said they showed a child being thrown. Either way, no one could explain how an 11-year-old girl could end up like that. 2 paranormal researchers, Maurice Gross and Guy Lynn Playfair, took over the investigation. They installed audio equipment, cameras, motion sensors. They witnessed furniture move. They were hit by flying objects. They recorded hours of unexplained knocking. More than 1,500 hours of tape were collected. This wasn't a one-night scare. This went on for nearly 2 years. Eventually, Ed and Lorraine Warren, the most famous paranormal investigators in the world, visited the Enfield house. Lorraine claimed she sensed a dark male presence. She believed it wasn't a ghost, but something more dangerous, something that fed on fear. However, even the Warrens admitted this was one of the most difficult cases they had ever seen. Not everyone believed the haunting was real. Some skeptics argued that Jeanette faked parts of it, and yes, Jeanette later admitted that some things were exaggerated. But there was a problem. Many events happened when Janet wasn't present. Objects moved in sealed rooms. Witnesses saw things alone. Police reports existed. Journalists experienced phenomena firsthand. Even skeptics admitted this case could not be fully debunked. As time passed, the activity weakened. The voice became less frequent, the knocking slowed. One night, it simply stopped. No explanation, no final message, just silence. The family stayed in the house for a few more years. Eventually, they moved out. Where are they now? Jeanette grew up. She changed her name. For years, she avoided speaking about it. But as an adult, she said this: there was something there, and it wasn't my imagination. Peggy Hodgson passed away in 2003. To the end of her life, she maintained what happened in the house was real. Today, 284 Green Street still stands. Families have lived there since. They rarely speak publicly, and maybe that's the scariest part. Because if even half Enfield poltergeist case is true, there's something intelligent, something angry, and something unseen. Once lived among them, not centuries ago, not in a castle, but a normal house, on a normal street, with children sleeping inside. What do you have to say?